Well, I remember my days going to school in the city of Cape Haitian. And I know in order for me to study what I had to do, because my parents could not afford putting electricity in their home. So every evening during school, I had to sit under a pole in the street studying. And that's when I understood the value of it and the need to see if some days that would ever take place in my own community. The first step was that I got news from a company in the US that there was a generator for sale and they were accepting bid. And we talked to them and we sent in our bid. I sent a bid for $1 and I got message later on that they accepted my bid. And I was very specific what I wanted to do with it, that I wanted to bring it to Haiti to provide electricity to a small village. I was surprised to hear who the owner was. It was Mr. Donald Trump. And as a matter of fact, one of the exciting things for me in the process was to go to the grand opening of the Mar-a-Lago, and going there with about more than 4,000 signatures from the people of Pion to say thanks to him for the generator he had donated to the community. I've learned pretty soon that a preacher cannot provide electricity. He better stick to preaching. And so we had several failed attempts to get it to work, even though it ran, but with no success. And that was, but in 1988, as we were in the process of building a new sanctuary for our church, there was that team coming from Chaska, Minnesota. And that was when I met Mike Callis. And in the process, we were talking in the truck and asking him what does he do for a living. He told me that he was an electrical engineer. And I said right away, I said, I need you. And he said, for what? I said, I have a generator and we want to provide electricity to Pion.
He actually even opened a plan up and showed me a map of the town and all the poles that he wanted to plant in the town. And he said, can you do something with this? I said, well, let me take this. We'll see what we can do with it and make some estimates on how we're going to get power from the generator throughout the town. And he had originally picked a spot in the center of town for the generator, and the location moved a little bit, but the concept was still the same. When I came to town, there was no infrastructure at all, absolutely nothing. And I remember as a kid hearing my grandfather and my father talk about how when they built the pole line out to my grandfather's farm and what that was like, and I thought, I'll never see anything like that. And then here I am dropped in a town, and that's exactly the same situation. There's absolutely nothing here, and we've got to start this from scratch. So I began thinking of an idea of how do we take this generator that we have, step up the voltage, and distribute it throughout the town.
The first time Mike began calling people and let the needs be known, he contacted NRECA, and NRECA started, once they find that there were some supplies available, contacted Mike, contacted me, and in finding out whether we wanted to accept them or not. And then the first shipment came, and we fought with custom in Haiti to get it out, and we did. And from there, the process continued.
Through our statewide association, Minnesota Rural Electric Association, I was able to make a few presentations to the general managers and to the boards and tell them of this project to get them an idea. And there was an interest in a few of the co-ops that they wanted to pitch in. And some of the general managers said, we'd be willing to send a couple of our linemen down there and do some work for you. We'd love to be able to pitch in.
Emerson Brady, City of Chaska, Chaska, Minnesota.
Dave Browse, Clearwater Polk, Bagley, Minnesota. Darren Larson, Clearwater Polk, Bagley, Minnesota.
My name is Dick Bowser, East Central Energy, Minnesota.
Ken Schmidt, MVEC, Jordan, Minnesota.
Bill Heimkes, Minnesota Valley Electric out of Jordan, Minnesota.
Dennis Liebelt, Finelson, Minnesota, East Central Energy.
Dave Baker, Nelson, Wisconsin.
Jack Worm, Chaska Municipal Utilities, Chaska, Minnesota.
My name is Jim Cullen. I'm from Minnesota Valley Electric,
Jordan, Minnesota.
Our plan at this point is to expand as we're able to with our resources. Right now, we're going to exhaust almost all of our resources, what we have here in material, the money that we still have that we've raised. That's going to be pretty much gone by the time we go home. And if there's any frustration out of all of this, I was asked today, how long until we get the rest of Pinon energized? Will it be in March? And I'm thinking, no, it'll probably be several years before we get the whole town. So we're going to have to do it slowly, bit by bit.
I wish everyone could have been on the town square last night. And then you would see you could sense what they feel at that time. They were beyond excitement as the light turned on and seeing it is true. It's no longer a dream, and a lot of other things can happen for this community. I think if there is one thing that I want to point out is the gratitude of our community to everyone who has been involved. I know it has taken a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money to make it happen, and we've had those, and some of those giving are sacrificial. And I know there are people who donate who really don't have that much to give, but they just sense that it is the right thing to do.